Hello guys, this is Chaos Within. Welcome to part 1 of my Shadowlands leveling guide. To begin, I'm gonna be attempting World First 60, most likely playing completely solo. This is the first time I'm attempting something like this, so I'm coming in kinda with a disadvantage right off the bat. However, I think I actually have a chance to do it. Anyway, I've decided to make a guide out of this, to share my route with you guys, as well as all my tips and tricks I've learned throughout my practice runs. So the way I'm building this guide is by making this 8-part video series where I'm doing commentary over my most recent beta run, where I'm telling you guys how I'm dealing with all the quests, as well as kind of thinking out loud, talking about what I think I might change and what I can improve on to make it even faster. If you already have some knowledge, feel free to skip forward to the zones and quests you might be a bit unsure about to see how I'm handling them. And if you watch this guide on YouTube, make sure to head over to my website chaoswithin.net, where I have some written segments where you can find all the crucial items I'm using, as well as macros and a little notebook of sorts that I'm gonna be updating all the way until launch, once I find out new things I believe is worth sharing. It's also worth mentioning that I've actually found out a couple of new things after I filmed this footage and recorded the commentary, so I'm gonna be adding those as little notes that you will see throughout the series. One final important thing before we roll the clips is that Shadowlands is a bit different to previous expansions in the way that you can actually overlevel. What happens if you overlevel is that you get reduced XP from quests, which means that you kinda wanna hover just below that edge so you get full XP from as many quests as possible. If you play Alliance with War mode on, that's when this actually becomes an issue, which means that you have to find the perfect path, blasting through the main story as fast as possible and adding just the right amount of side quests. So with that said, let's start the video. Alright, so the quests start outside Stormwind Keep for Alliance. I do not know where it starts for Horde, but it's probably somewhere in Orgrimmar. And you start by taking the portal here on this quest to Acarus, where the quest line starts. So here I'm just getting there as fast as possible. I'm running with the PvP talent that I don't remember the name of, but it reduces the cooldown on meta by 2 minutes. So I can use it more for mobility and stuff when I don't need it for damage, which is pretty good. And here you see there is some RP for about 40 seconds total. And after these, you're going to take the shards from the middle of the room out to the edges, and then you'll get teleported into the maw. So not much to say right there. We'll just wait and see. And now you can see I start running with the runes, and earlier in the beta you could use abilities while you're slowed by this, like you could double jump and glide to get really fast to put down the runes, but unfortunately they changed it, so there's no way to bypass this. And even if you're in a group, you cannot take more of them at the same time. You could potentially save a little bit of time by having people just pre-position in the middle, so one guy runs with one rune and then the next person stands in the middle and gets ready to take the next rune. But yeah, there's not a lot you can do to speed this part up, unfortunately. But yeah, I think there's a lot of places in Shadowlands where there's so much RP and so much slow things that you can't really do anything about, that you'll get to see later in the guide. But you just have to, yeah, you just have to wait through it and make sure to be as fast as possible where you can be fast, basically. So now we're just about to go into the maw to do the first quests. And we're in. And I'm also using the add-on Azoth Autopilot, but unfortunately for me it's been bugging a little bit, because you have a setting where you're able to make it auto talk and auto take dialogue and stuff, and it works sometimes for me, but not all the time. So anyway, on this quest you have to kill 8 mobs and you have to rescue 10 of these Death Knights, and when they're engaged to mobs, they auto get released when you kill the mob. So you kind of want to combine it a bit together. And also, if there's multiple of the NPCs standing next to each other, like you see behind me right now, if you click on one of them, you will rescue both of them. So that is pretty good. And now I'm almost done, and up here in front of me you take the quest to go to the next part, which you don't wanna forget to take. In one of my runs, like the one I did before this, I forgot to take it, so I had to run back when I was on the quest mob you're supposed to kill. But yeah, this run I did it correctly and actually took it. So now you see I just need to rescue 3 more, which I have right here. And then we go to the next part. So now you saw I used the Lightfoot pots. You like the Lightfoot pots as as I'm writing in my guide on my site, you can only use it on level 50. So once you ding 51, you can no longer use it anymore. But it's still important to use it as much as possible during the Maw, because you just want to get ahead as much as possible. So anything you can do to get ahead is so important, especially for me since I'm going for world first. And you also see this extra spell that I have. You're gonna be able to use this for almost the entire zone. Oh, and at this point is the first gun shoes I'm using. You see I'm gonna find 3 clues. And as you saw, as I took this quest, I did not cancel my gun shoes. I was just going back and forth and let my add-on auto take the quest. And yeah, so I could keep running. And didn't have to stop. And as you can see, it lasted me the entire way up to Jaina here. So I did this quest really fast. So that's a good tip I can also recommend for the first gun shoes usage. So this quest I'm taking now, I'm just gonna turn it in here, just killing an extra mob for some XP here. And there's some RP before I can turn it in. And there we go, now I'm turning it in. And I have to kill 6 of these mobs flying out. There's some RP, or no, not RP, I mean RNG involved here with how they spawn. Sometimes you can get like 6 of them spawning almost on top of each other with low HP, so you just kill them super fast. I was a bit unlucky that most of them had high HP, but I still did it pretty fast. And now this quest you get here, you have to escort Jaina further through the zone into a little cave, and you can't really speed this up. I've tried to like walk forward and try to like break it somehow, and like walk up, reload, zone out and see if she would TP further, but nothing just doesn't seem to work. And it just spawns like waves of these mobs that you just have to kill, and the faster you kill them, the faster she will keep walking. One thing I'm considering maybe doing for launch is go just full group here with some of my guildies or something, and to just blast through the quests right here in the start, and at the step a little bit further on I'll just start going solo there, because at this point there's not like a lot of speed involved, because it's almost all RP, kill a few mobs, more RP. So here I might go with a group, but we'll see. I'm doing it pretty fast solo as well, considering I'm a bit scared from Neolotha. I'm doing so much DPS here, so even if I end up doing it solo, it's not gonna slow me down too much. And now we're almost done with this quest. We're coming down to this cave here, where there's gonna spawn a boss mob, where we pop hero or drums. and meta and just everything and just blast them down fast. This is also a place where it would be pretty nice if you are in a group to just kill him in just a couple of seconds. I don't know if he scales up if you're multiple people, so maybe it doesn't really matter if I'm alone. But yeah, the only thing that would be nice would be if I had like a mage in the group who could give me a proper hero, since the drums got nerfed to 15% instead of 25% in now in Shadowlands. And yeah, as you also can see, this spell I have that summons some NPCs to help me, you can use it through almost the entire zone. So it's pretty good to remember that you want to use it as much as possible. So now this quest is pretty much done, and you go down into the cave, where there's gonna be a couple of minutes of RP before you get to the next step. So as well, something that I'm gonna keep mentioning throughout the run is since there's so much RP in a lot of places, you basically just want to sit down and refresh buff food every single time you can, pretty much. Right now, I don't think I do it at this point because I have almost the entire duration left on it, so it doesn't really matter too much. But and I also know that there's gonna be some RP where I can refresh it in the not too distant future. So yeah, you can see on the timer I have on the side, like the little Azeroth autopilot window, it says the AFK. It's basically gonna be like 3 sessions of 20 to 30 seconds RP here. So I'm gonna be moving to the next quest in about a minute from this point, I think. But that's pretty much how the first zone is. It's just a lot of RP, not a lot you can do to speed it up. I've tried to like break most of the quests, but there's not much you can do. But I've still decided that I'm not gonna edit anything in this clip or in this run, because I think it can still be useful, especially if you're someone who have never played the beta and still wanna level fast, that you basically just so you can see the entire leveling. So I don't want to skip past anything. But I guess like most of the RP is pretty early on in the story. A little bit later on, there's not gonna be a lot of RP. It's mostly gonna be you go from quest to quest. But here and there are like a minute of RP. But yeah, I will not skip through it, because I think it can still be worth it to see it. And I mean, if you want to read what they're saying. So this is the last AFK session, and then we get the next quest. And yeah, this vendor I could have vendor too. I think I deleted the item I had in my bag. I only had like 1 cloth or something, but doesn't really matter too much. So here you see I used the Lightfoot pot to get out as fast as possible, and now you're gonna kill 5 of these mobs, or you get them down to 50% and then you use the quest item on them. And what you will see me do throughout the run is that I'm going to be binding my quest items. I have one button, you see shift 1 there in the middle of the screen where I'm just putting it. Azeroth Autopilot does have a binding for this stuff, but for some reason it just doesn't work for me. What I'm considering doing is making a macro with every single quest item throughout the entire leveling. I think it's probably gonna be like between 50 and 20 items, so it should be they should fit into one macro. And if I do, I will put it on my site. But I feel like it's not really a time loss to like put them on my bars. It doesn't really matter because I'm doing it as I'm killing stuff. But it could be a little quality of life thing. I'm probably gonna be doing it. And yeah, now you see I got done with the first quest. Now it's this quest where you have to kill the big guy, and you use it on this one as well. And you turn into Darren Mograine after. You go back down into the cave, and here, next part right now is gonna be where my first little tip I found out to help you do the next quest really fast, like super fast. And it has to do with, I'm also mentioning it on my website, that you get blacksmithing and you get the blacksmithing keys. Here, by the way, you'll see my second gun shoes. I actually think I mess it up this time. You want to just jump super far, but I glide down into this hole. So I'm wasting a little bit of time here. It's just a few seconds, so it doesn't matter too much, but you just want to jump all the way out from the edge. I usually do it pretty consistently, but it's this time I messed up a bit. And as a demon hunter, you can go up here, do a little bit of parkour, save a couple of seconds, you jump up here, go right into the portal, and get up onto this bridge, get over it as fast as possible, and you're gonna have to talk to Jaina right here, and then you will get teleported up to Anduin in front up there. So, this next quest here, this is where my blacksmithing tip comes in. You can use it to open these cages, so you do not have to kill the mobs for the keys. I'm gonna assume this area is gonna be completely crowded on launch. So, using blacksmithing here, or being grouped with a rogue who can also open the cages, is gonna be pretty important if you're looking to get ahead. So I'm really happy I thought about this and managed to find this out. And then as a demon hunter, obviously, you can just jump all the way down, glide down. If you're any other class, you can use goblin gliders. But as a demon hunter, obviously I have such an easy life getting down here. And we open a few more cages. And you see I'm pretty much getting done with both of these quests in about a minute. Which is way faster than if you are killing the mobs for the keys. Because I've noticed the mobs doesn't even have 100% drop chance on the keys, so you might be stuck here killing quite a few mobs, especially when the area is crowded with people. So yeah, if I get to this point fast, like before most other people, I think I have a good shot of just getting a huge lead super fast. Unless more people on my server have thought about this. So I'm already done. I guess it took about like between 1 and 2 minutes. I didn't really look at the timer. Probably about 2 minutes. And I'm already back up here. So now you want to open these locks around Anduin. And one of my viewers gave me the tip that you could stand right on top of Anduin to click both of them without moving. It's not really a time game, but it's kind of nice to just be able to stand in the same spot. And now Jaina will spawn a portal back to the cave, and you take that. And there's gonna be a bit more RP. And this first zone takes roughly 26 minutes until I'm done. I'm a bit unlucky with a couple of bugs in a few minutes. Which you will see when we get there. Which makes this run go a little bit slower, but most of it, like at the start, went really fast, so I'm still getting out in a pretty good time. I'm just gonna like keep practicing this as well on the beta, make sure I do everything completely perfect. Probably gonna do just like the days before launch, just probably gonna do them all like 10 times in a row, just to like make sure I'm doing every single movement completely perfectly. So now we're almost done with this, and we're ready to pop our next Lightfoot pot and get out of this cave for the final time. So there we go, popping the pot and running out. And we use, I think this is the third gun shoes. So there was a little bit, or like kind of a way you could break this quest, but unfortunately they fixed it. So you're supposed to stand up on the bridge, and there's gonna be some RP, but you can actually jump down here, and you will spawn the mobs at you, and you should be able to talk to Jaina to what's it called? To just get the quest like insta complete, but it seems they've fixed it. Now I'm gonna get teleported back, because what's supposed to happen is you stand up on the bridge and you get knocked down, and you have to run all the way that you saw me run. So here I'm getting teleported back. At this point the quest should be completed, but apparently they fixed it, so there's not a lot you can do. You have to run with the mobs. I didn't lose any time running up there, because you still get teleported back to that spot no matter what you do. But yeah, so they fixed the bug, and you basically have to do it normally. So no time save there. So on this quest, you have to click on these weapon racks to find a weapon. You have to click on them, I think it's 5 times. And then you know that, and then you're gonna be done. You just have to wait for Thrall to like move between them. Actually, you don't have to wait, you just keep clicking them and he's gonna keep moving. And you also have to kill these mobs. You're roughly gonna have to kill like 5 to 6 mobs, and then it's gonna drop. It seems to not be guaranteed how many mobs you have to kill, but roughly gonna be like between 5 and 6. And I think this is the mob that's gonna drop it for me. Unfortunately here, you're gonna see that I click on the weapon rack, and I get Thrall, and I counted that I need to click one more, and I see one down right by where the quest started, but I bug it out here, which is unfortunate. So what I think happened is that I went too far away from Thrall, so he disappeared, and now he's completely gone. And now he's back to me, but as you can see, none of the weapon racks are clickable. So that's kind of a shame that it happened now. I'm just thinking now, I remember how do I fix this, and I realized that I probably just have to disband the quest and take it again. So I should be doing it right here. Right now I'm just wasting time running around, but it's kind of good that it happened now, so I know that you have to make sure you do not run away from him. Wow, I'm actually spending a lot of time just running around there. I probably lost 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes or something from this, but like now after running around through everything, I realized that it's probably completely bugged. So I take it again, and now it works. So now I'm just pathing back. I counted there's 5 of them, or no, 4. So that's the first one I clicked up there, second, and oh yeah, it is 5, yeah. So that's the third one, 4th one, and this is the 5th one here, and it's gonna be done. So you turn it into him, you get a next quest, you have to go back to this place here and click the little blade on the stone, and he's gonna spawn an NPC that you have to kill. And now we're almost done with this zone. It's about 6 minutes left, and then we're going to Oribos. So that's done, and now we're gonna turn it in. So now we're just moving up here with them, and this next quest you're gonna be turned invisible, and you're running through a little gauntlet with mobs. And unfortunately I encounter another bug here, which is out of my control. So now you see in front of me there is this eye that's patrolling, and if you and NPCs get close to one of them, Jaina will stop moving, and you have to wait for the eye to pass. And now you're gonna see as we start moving. But what happens here is, for some reason, Jaina walks too far forward, so the eye will actually, like, they will stop inside its zone. So here you will see that the eye spots them and aggroes. And this is really bad, and I hope they fix this for the launch, because this is kind of annoying. And then you have to wait for her to re-stealth. Sometimes it bugs. It happened to me in another run when I accidentally aggroed the mob that they just did not re-stealth. So I had to abandon the quest and go back and take it again. But right now it seems like, if I remember correctly, that we don't have any more bugs here. And we can just finish up the mob pretty fast. So I just take this time as we're waiting for the quest to finish to explain that since I'm splitting this video up in 8 parts, I'm gonna make the first part is gonna be this one, the Maw, and the RP in Oribos after this, and when we're starting Bastion, that will be the start of part 2. And then I'm thinking, for all the zones that I'm doing, or like completing the entire zones, which is Bastion, Maldraxxus, and Ardenweald, I'm gonna split all those into 2 parts each, and then Revendreth I finish about the third through the zone. That's gonna be the final part. So that's pretty much about that. Little bit of RP here, you have to follow her. And at this part, it is also important to note, if you're doing it fast, that if you walk too far away from Jaina, and that's also for this entire quest, in the stealth as well, if you walk too far away, they're gonna stop moving and you have to go back. So you have to be pretty close to the NPCs for them to move. So here we are at the Waystone, which later on in the expansion will work as the teleport to Oribos from the Maw when you're doing dailies here and stuff. So this is the first time we get there. So now we turn this quest in to Anduin. They're disappearing, but they should be coming back here. There we go. And here we're doing 51, and you also saw that I refreshed my Draught of the 10 Lands, and also my scrolls and stuff. And during this quest, you don't actually have to really kill the NPCs, I think. I'm just doing it because it doesn't really matter. I'm not sure what happens if you just leave them up, but to be fair, there's not really any point. You're not losing anything for DPSing them, so yeah, I'm just DPSing them down. You have to wait for this meter that you can see at the bottom of my screen to go up to about 80%, and then there's gonna be an RP that triggers, and the quest will be done. So yeah, I think like finishing up the Maw, I could do it in probably like below 26 minutes. Obviously I have this issue, or had this issue this run with Thrall despawning like 5 minutes ago, and also the bug that Jaina walked into that patrolling eye that cancelled the invisibility. So all of those things lost me a bit of time. So that's kind of unfortunate, but on launch I'm hoping that none of these bugs will happen. At least I think I understand that the bug with Thrall despawning happened because I walked too far away from him, so I'm just gonna make sure on the launch to not do that. And here you can see we're almost done with the quests, so now the jailer starts talking, the RP is done pretty much, or I mean the RP is triggered, there's not gonna be any more mobs. Now we have to wait a little bit, and then you can click on the portal to go into Oribos. I think I actually was a little bit late. Right when that happens, you can turn it in, as you can see when the quest finishes. So here we're going to Oribos, and this part includes a lot of RP, but there's a few things you can do to speed it up a bit. Oh yeah, unfortunately here I encounter a bug. I don't know why this happens. This is the second time that happened. When it happened to me. So once you talk to that guard with the like golden armor, both of them are supposed to start moving, but here you can see only one of them starts moving. So I have no idea really how you deal with this bug. It happened to me like the day before when I did another run, and I don't really know. Yeah, I don't know why it's happening. Because like that run I did the day before this was the first time it happened to me. So it seems to be a new bug that happened when they added some new build or something. But yeah, the guy started moving, so I just have to wait for him to get in here. But yeah, this quest this time takes about like double the time it's supposed to take because of this bug. I hope this doesn't happen on launch. Because yeah, like I said, both of them were supposed to start moving at the same time, and the second they get to the quest, it's gonna be done. But yeah, this is kind of weird. And there we go. We triggered the next part. And we talk to him, and we turn it in. A little bit of a cinematic. Now we have to listen to them talk. There's nothing you can do to make this go faster out of all the things I've tried. So you just have to wait for this AFK timer. So the next quest that happens now is gonna be that you get teleported up to the Arbiter, who I think is the leader for Oribos or something. I actually do not really know too much about the lore of this expansion. My folks in the beta has only been speed leveling and trying out some max level content. But yeah, you basically go up there, you check what's up, basically. She's sleeping or something. And there's some more RP. Nothing you can do to make this go faster either. So right here, I'm just jumping around, having a good time. It also says, I mean, she says that you should step forward. I don't know really if you have to do it. You can just have to stand away for RP, I think. So I'm done with that quest, and here we're gonna start moving again. And on this quest, you're gonna open portals back to Stormwind. So you talk to this NPC, and you follow them. And once you get up here, when they stop moving, you talk to them again, and they open the portal. And at that point, you can start running back instantly to get the... because, like, once you talk to them, the RP will trigger itself, and the quest will be completed. So you're gonna see here, when they get up here, I'm just gonna talk to him and start moving back instantly. So you do not have to wait for the portals to spawn. So there we go. I started that, and I'm running back. And the reason why I'm not using any gun shoes or Radin control gem or anything here is because this is the quest where I'm gonna wanna use gun shoes and stuff. So here you basically have to run around the entire city and go to 5 different places. And what I think I'm probably gonna do is try to build a little bit of a speed set or something, because this part is just like, you don't have to wait for an RP, you just have to run through the places as fast as possible. Since I'm a Demon Hunter, I'm naturally just doing it really fast. But you can do it faster for sure. And now we're getting to the Innkeeper, and here you want to set your Heartstone. So boom, we got a Heartstone, and there we go, we visit him. Because you're basically gonna want to use your Heartstone or have it in Oribos for the entire run. Because after every zone, you're gonna go back here. So I would assume that unless you are a mage, I don't know when mages will get their portal to Oribos, but if you're, let's say you're a mage or you're leveling with a mage in a group, you could probably set your Heartstones to some towns to Heartstone back when you're doing quests that are like a bit far away. But at least for me, who's solo leveling as a demon hunter, I'm just keeping it in Oribos for the entire route. What you could do in Revendreth, which is gonna be the last zone, is there you could potentially put the Heartstone in a town there, since you no longer have to go back to Oribos. But there's no quests. There's no quests where you have to go back to any towns there. You're just like progressing. At least in my route, you're just going forward and forward every quest. But yeah, here you see I'm done with the. I'm done with everything. Now you have to wait for some more RP. And you have to talk to Overseer Cashier after. And you're gonna walk with him to get to the Flight Master area and open the portal to Bastion. And then the real questing starts. And there used to be a way in the beta that so you could like pre-talk to Cashier to make him start moving before this RP was done, to save like almost half a minute. But unfortunately they fixed it, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, that's just what it is. So I won't be able to do it faster, but as nobody else will either. So for the world first run, it doesn't really make a difference. I do think all this RP is a little bit annoying. I would rather just have quests to do all the time. But yeah, I mean everybody's gonna have to go through this, so it doesn't really matter too much. So a change that they have made that used to not be that you could not do at the start of the beta is that this portal, you can use it before he's done walking. Like before, you used to have to wait for him to walk up here, and then he activates the portal and you can go through. But I've noticed that if you go through earlier, it can bug. And you have to like go back down and trigger his walk again. So I'm just waiting for him to go through first. And I'm waiting for the quest text to update before I go through. So there we go. You saw the follow Cashier done, and you go through, you talk to him. So now we go and open the portal to Bastion. And we're just a few seconds from ending this video, and I'm gonna end it pretty much when we start flying, and then I will finish, or I will continue in the next video. So you basically here, you just have to wait for him to walk up there, and then you have to click on this little sword on the ground, and there's a little cutscene that triggers, where the portal comes down from the air. Unfortunately, I'm not showing it here since I'm speedrunning, but it's kind of cool. So there we go, that's done, and now we have to click on this. And we open the portal. And the cutscene comes, escape it, and boom, we're done. So we turn this in. And there we go. And you're flying all the way to Bastion. So thank you guys for watching part 1 of my world first level run. Or my leveling guide, which is also my like practice for my world first run. And I will see you guys in part 2. So goodbye.